Welcome to the live ASG. Actually, it's not my official ASG live. It's my Kevin McDowell page live. How y'all folks doing? It is Friday, September 5th, right? 2025. Yes, we got that right. Usually I don't keep track of days. Hope everyone's having a wonderful Friday so far. It's about noonish or after. Yeah, I'm just checking in and chiming in. Do a live. I haven't done this in a minute. Want to give you guys some updates on what's going on with my projects with me. If you have been really following my page, you will see a lot of updated posts with the AI components that I've been using with my film project. And I've kind of, in the past, had discussions about this whole AI thing, my opinion about the whole AI thing, especially a few years back when it was type of thing where AI, from my assessment as an artist, was just coming on the scene in terms of my knowledge. And I was like, AI, ooh, you know. But I'm going to tell you, at first I was very, very reluctant, like skeptical about it, you know, and then I would go into different groups about the whole AI thing. I'm not going to spend this whole live talking about the AI, but I just want to just touch upon that because I'm presently working on my film using the AI, and I've done some amazing things with it. And I have about maybe an hour worth of footage, you know, creating the prompts, writing the prompts. But more importantly, my project is not strictly all 100% AI based. For those who've been following me, if you've been following me years ago, you would know that there were several projects I was working on. There, at one point, I was working on an animated series project. Another point, a few years back, I got very ambitious. I said, let me do a live action. Live action. Me doing a live action sci-fi film? Did a Kickstarter campaign. It flopped. I didn't know anything about fundraising and all that kind of stuff. But it was a learning experience. But now here we are, 2025. All this AI all over the place. I said, let me just adapt it. Let me try this for a little bit. And once I took the creative elements that I've already produced, like my designs, my character designs, my illustrations, the projects I built. A lot of people don't know, when I was working on my project, the live action version of this, to create practical effects, I would design them. You know, these are little miniatures. This is actually a 3D print of one of the little miniature sets. It's part of a little city. You know, let me just show you. Here's another one. You know, these futuristic, you know, towers and things like this. And these are 3D printed. So the whole original concept of the film, the live action film, was supposed to be a little mini short, like a little pilot. About 30 minutes or so. I did a fundraiser. It didn't go well. I was like, oh, of course I was new to this. But then, prior to that, I was already previously building miniature sets. Here's some more miniatures for that film. You know, vehicles, hovercrafts, things like that. I've actually built studio scale size practical models. It's another tower, landscape. You know, I built about over 80 different practical models. The largest practical model I built was a scientific vessel. Oh my gosh, it's about 7 feet. Still not complete. So, long story short, speeding up to the present day, I started thinking about something that a lot of these Hollywood producers, you know, the big Hollywood producers, you know, those who know I'm a fan of sci-fi, Star Trek, Star Wars, Space 1999, UFO, Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, Lost in Space, you name it. Going back to the late 70s, early era. And I used to always watch those classic TNT Turner classic movies, those old sci-fi movies, This Island Earth. You know, we're going back to the 50s, before I was born. But long story short, something that always resonated in my head with a lot of these big producers, you know, James Cameron, George Lucas, they said that there's going to be a point when technology gets so advanced. This was George Lucas, that you'll be able to make movies on a Star Wars level in your garage. I was like, what? Trying to fathom that. Like, really? And now with this AI, you can create completely virtual environments digitally, you know. So even when you look at the other films like Avatar, you know, James Cameron spoke about it. The technology did not exist when he had the concept for Avatar. It didn't exist yet until the technology came about. Oh, and now you have, you know, the third Avatar installment coming out, all CGI, digital. I honestly think that this AI thing has really been out longer than we think. And it just came to the market as now you see Midjourney and Leonardo AI and all these applications. I think Hollywood's been using those, and this is another way to back and make their money, but that's a different thing. But anyway, so yeah, I'm going to share a few clips of my updated reel. I'm not going to get too much in terms of the content of the film because I don't want to give away too many spoilers. But if you've been following me, I've been posting. And so I've learned where I could use a fusion of my practical models with the AI to create these visual effects and then tell the stories. But this is something interesting I want to talk about because I want to talk about content creation. That was the real point of me wanting to get on this live. You know, content creation. What is content creation? You know, what is it? It's the broad term in sense that we have an idea what it means in terms of you're on the internet and you're creating your post that, you know, puts out certain information and, you know, you create reels and different ways of doing these little videos and stitching in these videos. And it always seems to me that when it came to content creators, there has been a bit of a goal, and not with everyone, but there's been a bit of a goal for some to monetize, to make their money. And the way you make your money is by creating viral posts. But when you do the research, a lot of these via internet channels, you know, YouTube and all this kind of stuff, for you to make any really money, and this is not come from me, this is coming from the people who have content creators who have said this. I think it was, I don't want to misquote. I think it was Damon Dash, who was given the real inside scoop and how you really make money, how much you really make. You really make pennies. You really make pennies on the millions of views and subscribers, whatever it is. So for all the work that you put in, if a video goes viral, you're not rich. You're not making a lot of money. You're not even gonna probably make $10,000. So you have to figure out other ways to capitalize, but I don't want to talk too much about that. I just want to ask the question about the creative aspect of this, because myself as a content creator, quote, content creator, I'm a creative person by nature or by default or by birth or by choice, whatever. Hold up. Ooh, if I sneeze, ooh, it's live. Ooh, excuse me. Oh, excuse me. That's live. See, that's live. But anyway, yeah. As an artist, I've been always diving into the arena of the art since I was a kid, drawing, painting, and that's why I showed you a little bit of my models, my practical models for my film, so that way, when my film project is finished, and you see the designs in the film assisted with AI, you would know it's not an all complete AI generated prompt that created my images. You know, so I use actual practical models, real elements, which I record and then upload video and edit the video using prompts with AI. To me, it became more sensible because in that storyline in the sci-fi environment and worlds and galaxies and space when there's battles, whatever it is, I didn't have to use the traditional method of, you know, post-production and After Effects and, you know, and compositing and creating mats. It's like, wait a minute, I can just, with the prompt, with that video, with the prompt, add planets, add this, create atmosphere, and then have fire explosions. And it's hyper realistic. It looks like the actual effect. So that's where the AI has assisted me. It has taken me milestones ahead, because when I was fumbling trying to like, hey, how do I even get money to buy VR suits to that way I can create characters and I can then motion cap. I don't have to do all that. Now I just create a prompt. I can design the sketch of the character or use a sculpture of a character I create, photograph it, use the AI, and then the AI can transform it to photorealism and then make it animate. And then minutes. So, yeah. So it changed everything. I don't have to like knocking on back doors and I need money. Anyway. But staying on point, my point, I've always been a creative person. Even when I do artwork, paintings, you know. I'll just show you a few of my paintings. See? Now, at some point, I'm going to create an animated series bringing these to life with AI. These are my actual drawings on canvas panel. I would sell these when I would go out in the street market and I would go out and sell these paintings. You know, now it's like, hey, to cross-platform, I can make this into a animated sequence, you know. So in terms of content creation, like what really is content creation? Like, is content creation being at the creator's helm and you are the writer, you are the director, you are the actor, the performance? I say this because social media is where it is. And it's like the platform is open for so many type of people and content. And I find it interesting that at certain points I've taken breaks from social media because of what I see in the feed. And it's always funny. I always try to find the tag of the person who created it, whatever the content is. I know lately my eyes have been bombarded with seeing the subways of New York. You know, a lot of this stuff goes in the feed and it's like, and all you see is some heinous situation. Somebody getting jagged up. There's always some wildness in the subway. And if you didn't know any better, you would think that's like that 24/7. And no one should really be naive walking around in the subway in any part of New York City. Oh, making my way downtown, walking back. No, you can't be naive. You got to keep your eyes open. But in terms of content, there are people who just create different things. People create content for humor and it's entertaining. People create content for creative aspects. People also just post, you know. And so I'm trying to find the creative aspect in the content that's posted. You know, I love to see a good story. It's always good, I guess, with the social media platforms to be informed. You know, you have to have alternate means because, you know, truthfully, mass media, you know, it ain't news. It ain't real information. But at the same time, excuse me, we have to be very careful of not allowing ourselves and our brains being bombarded with the same old negative. Like, how many times are you going to see posts of, again, the heinousness in the subways or the ratchetness in the street? So although, you know, there are somewhat bit of filters, supposedly, when you come across someone's content that streams in the feed, you're supposed to have the option that says, show less of this type of stuff. And I don't know why, but for some reason, I keep seeing the same old stuff. Some people are going, nah, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see the young teenage boys in the hood knocking each other out and slugging each other. I don't want to see any more young people going to the mall and having a field day and breaking down the mall because we don't really know the whole context. Not saying that's justifiable. That's not what I'm saying, but we don't understand the full story. And let me give you a case in point what I mean. Like, there was a video that I saw recently. I guess it's semi-viral. I don't know exactly where it was. It was a mall. And there was a bunch of teenagers running rampant, smashing things. It was a Foot Locker. I don't know exactly where. I don't know if it was in New York, the outskirts of New York State. I don't know. But what's so amazing is I'm studying the video. I'm watching how many people who are the bystanders would stop and just watch it to record it so they can also share the feed on social media. And there was one guy, remember, he was a passerby. It was a guy, he had on beige khaki shorts. He's walking by, he stops, he takes out his video. He's going about his business. And then he decides to, and the kid, you can do what you want to do. He decides to go into the action, goes into the store that's already been raided, vandalized, and start taking pictures and all throughout the store. I mean, like, I'm talking about complete immersive experience. But then he was going to record it because he videotaped it. I mean, or at least it's his phone. So I'm sure if I typed in Foot Locker Internet Mall, I'm sure if I Google it, it'll be a whole bunch of different ones, and you'll probably see this guy's video. And so the point is that where is the real creation in that? And if one is documenting it, are they really using a creative edge to say, let me take these type of incidents, document them, do some research, and then make the inquiry, why are they happening? Why is this type of thing? To maybe bring some attention to why it's happening, or maybe some kind of resolution. Maybe we can try to find to do things to get our youth out of that mindset. You know what I'm saying? Have a positive message on it, because what's going to eventually happen is the more you see, the more people are going to do. You know, it's as simple as, Grand Theft Auto, the video game years back. And it's as simple as the subway surfing game years back. And now you got teenagers hopping on the subways until one is like, poof, they ghost out of existence. You know, it doesn't make any sense. People will emulate what they see. The younger, weaker mind influence will copy that. So, to each his own. People are going to create their own stuff. People are going to share their own stuff. I usually, from my perspective, with my creative work, I do share, but I don't put everything out. Because again, there are people who are inspired, and there are people who are going to take what you have and try to outdo you with your stuff. There's nothing wrong with, I guess, what you call healthy competition or admiration. But in this process, because it is a film project I'm working on, I'm not going to put full disclosure out. So with the artwork, of course, I'll share the artwork. You can go to my private page. You can go to my official Artizfacts Studio Gallery news page on Facebook, or you can go to my official website, www.artizfacts.com. And artwork is for sale, and you can support the business, and you can support the mission I'm trying to do, try to raise awareness of well-being, well-groomed mental people through visual arts. But anyway, that's a different story. But yeah, I just wanted to share that a bit. I'm going to eventually get back to work and doing some more of my creative stuff. I haven't worked on these practical models in a minute. Again, I have about 80 some odd models. There's a whole lot of miniature sets I need to continue to work on, because they're going to be used in the film, and I'm going to use the AI to assist with just taking it to another level, where, and to give an example of that, in building some of these practical models, I've learned I can make them more simple. I usually make them very intricate, because they were designed for film or designed for, of course, video. And at some point I am still going to do a film that's going to be all practical, where it's no AI assistance in it. But the AI stuff make it look so much cool. I mean, taking something like this, a shot of this, taking a video of this, and then putting it into AI. That way, by default, it will put in the windows. It'll illuminate the windows. It'll create people walking across the platforms and the balconies. I don't have to do post work for that. I don't have to get in and, okay, let me create miniature people and animate them walking. No, the AI is done. Seconds. And then do alterations at different angles, and change the prompt. And then, so that's where it has gone. At first, I was, again, reluctant to it. So, and now I've kind of I'm embracing it as a creative tool. I don't think that AI, nor should people give access, but it's starting too late because AI is involved in anything. But I don't think people should allow, although it's too late because AI is autonomous. But I think that the safeguards should be still set in place, about AI having complete autonomy over everything, like how you get into your house and the car you drive. No. I don't want no AI telling me where to go. Have an emergency. I need to go to the hospital. No, you're going to the grave. What? You won't make it. Then I get there and then I become, because the AI said it and the AI used the probability and it made it happen. Instead of taking that 10% chance to save my life. That was kind of indicated into the movie I, Robot. Will Smith. It's an interesting thing about how the AI and the robot calculated. It was a scene when there was an accident. Spoilers for those spoilers who haven't seen it. Spoilers. So if you don't want to hear it, just walk away for about a minute. But there was a scene where Will Smith, he gets into an accident and another vehicle. They fall off the bridge. They fall into the water. And then the rescue robot came to save, but the robot can only save one person at a time. So what wound up happening was the AI robot detected that the Will Smith character had a higher probability of surviving. I think a 40%, where the girl only had like a 15%. So it didn't reason to say, because she has a 15%, let me see if I can save her because she has a higher risk. No, it decided, you're going to survive likely, so forget her. And that's why his character was biased against the AI. So yeah, AI hasn't mastered visual elements. Even when I create the AI, or I should say this, when I use the AI to create scenes with people, and the people have these weird morphs. The heads turn backwards, they running out. So that's something. I guess what more advanced prompting, that could be eliminated. It could be resolved. But yeah, that's all I wanted to share about really the creative content. What is the creative content? My content is the work that I create off camera. And then I share that content with you. Sometimes the process, the model making, the whole spiel of it. And you can find more of that again at my official Artizfacts Studio Gallery news page. But I just want to check in with you guys before they start disconnecting me because I'm talking so good stuff. But don't say anything about conspiracy theories, because if you say anything about conspiracy theories or education or whatever it is, they may shut it down. Shh, don't say anything about that. So, shh. Let's talk about art. Yes, art. All right, people. I'm going to have me a little drink, agua, water, and then I'm going to get to work. Dun, 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 dun. All right, peace. No chicken grease.